returns under GST. A number of returns are to be filed under GST. What is a return? A tax return is a document to be filed by a taxpayer to the tax authorities to declare his tax liability. That is the definition. So a taxpayer has to upload his details in the GST website and declare his revenue and his tax liability. Then he has to pay the tax. For that purpose, he has to file returns. So under GST there are a number of returns. The most important return is Form GSTR 1. It is a return of outward supplies made. In GSTR 1, you have to declare the outward supplies and the credit notes and debit notes issued. The details of outward supplies, the credit notes and debit notes issued. That is to be declared in Form GSTR 1. So GSTR 1 is the primary return, we could say, in case of a regular taxpayer. And he has to file it monthly. Monthly in the sense, this month's return should be filed on or before 10th of the next month. On or before 10th of the next month. Once a tax period or a tax cycle is completed, so after 10 days, you have to file your sales details or outward supplies details in Form GSTR 1 on or before 10th of the succeeding month. That is a legal requirement as per GST law. When we are moving on to the second return, it is GSTR 2. GSTR 2 is not being followed as of now. GSTR 2 is the purchase details. It is not to be uploaded by the recipient, but the supplier himself will upload the sales. It will automatically get populated in the dashboard of the recipient. And that form is GSTR 2A. GSTR 2A is system generated or auto populated when the supplier uploads the invoice details and the debit note and credit note details after logging into his account. So the recipients will get their purchases online, or the data will be available online in Form GSTR 2A. It's an auto-populated data. So that is GSTR 2A, auto-populated data of purchases. Then we will be moving on to GSTR 3. Earlier it has been decided that after comparing all the uploads of the suppliers and the recipients, there should not be any mismatch. But it was not possible because the suppliers were not uploading the data on time. So there was a return in lieu of GSTR 3, and it is GSTR 3B. Even now GSTR 3B is being followed to file the returns, and GSTR 3B will declare your outward supplies, not in detail, the lump sum figure, and you can type your input tax credit available. That means as per your purchase ledger, you can type the amount. So the net tax liability will be available and you have to pay that amount. So when you are filing GSTR 3B on or before 20th of the succeeding month, the data will be available concerning your tax liability, and as per the tax liability generated by the system, you have to pay the amount via bank. As mentioned earlier, in the payment of tax, the mode of payments, you can make the payment either through a bank account or by cash over the counter up to rupees 10,000, or you can use NEFT or RTGS facility. Like that, you can make the payment of your tax. So the primary returns related with a regular taxpayer are GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. There are various kinds of supplies in GSTR 1 to be uploaded in GSTR 1. We have to categorize the supplies into business to customer and business to business supplies. Business to customer means unregistered persons. Supplies to unregistered persons, and B2B supplies are supplies to registered persons under GST. Then exports you have to mention separately. Inward supplies is not mentioned here. GSTR 1 is exclusively for outward supplies. And zero rated supplies or nil rated supplies, it's also to be shown separately. And one more thing is advances received in relation to a future supply. If you are receiving an advance in relation to a future supply, that should be also shown in form GSTR 1. We have softwares available as of now, and the softwares themselves will segregate the types of transaction, whether it's B2C or B2B, as per the inputs provided by the accountant. So it's not a big deal. We can use the softwares to segregate the transactions, whether it's an export or whether it's B2C, whether it's B2B, or advances have been received. So all these will be segregated by the software itself. Actually, an accountant in these days doesn't need to worry about segregating the transactions, but he should be vigilant. But segregation is made easy using the softwares. There are 21 returns in total under the GST law. There are 21 returns in total as per the GST law. Let us mention all those GSTR forms or the GST return forms. The first one is GSTR 1. That is what we discussed now. The details of outward supplies are being furnished in this form. Outward supplies. Next one is GSTR 1A. Details of auto drafted supplies. That means the details of purchases by a regular taxable person, the details of purchase by a composition dealer or an input service distributor. Next one is GSTR 2. Details of inward supplies of goods and services. Details of inward supplies of goods or services. Next one is GSTR 2A. Details of auto drafted supplies from GSTR 1, GSTR 5, GSTR 6, GSTR 7 and GSTR 8. These are the auto drafted supplies where the details are populated automatically. Auto populated details of the supplies uploaded by various parties. Then GSTR 3. Monthly return. Monthly return in GSTR 3, it is being postponed, and now GSTR 3B is being used to file the returns. GSTR 3 has been indefinitely postponed since 2017. Then comes GSTR 3A. This is notice to a defaulter under section 46 for not filing return. Under section 46 for the non-filers of GST return, a notice will be served in form GSTR 3A. Next one is GSTR 3B. This is the monthly return to be filed by the regular taxpayers on or before 20th of the succeeding month. This is the monthly return to be filed by the regular taxpayers on or before 20th of the succeeding month. It shows the outward supplies as well as the input tax credit available as per the inward supplies or our purchase ledger. When we are furnishing GSTR 3B on or before 20th of the succeeding month, our tax liability, if any, will be displayed automatically, and we have to pay that amount to file the return or monthly return for regular taxpayers, GSTR 3B. So without payment of tax, the return will be invalid. So we have to pay the tax to make it valid. This is the most important return considering other returns. GSTR 3B is being filed by most of the taxpayers in India under GST law. Next topic or the next form is GSTR 4. GSTR 4 is a quarterly return to be filed by a composition dealer. GSTR 4 is a quarterly return to be filed by a composition dealer, and it just shows the taxable turnover and the tax. The tax rate of a composition dealer we have already mentioned different categories. For manufacturers and traders it is 0.5, 0.5, total 1%. It is 1% in total. And for restaurants it is 2.5, 2.5 in total, it's 5%. So taxable value and tax, that's it. No inward supply detail or anything. They have to file the return in GSTR 4. From April 2019, 1st of April 2019 onwards, this form has been replaced by GST CMP 08 for composition dealers. It has been replaced. The GSTR 4 has been replaced with GST CMP 08. So the form number has been changed, but earlier it was GSTR 4. Then comes GSTR 4A, the auto drafted details for a registered person opting composition levy. Like GSTR 2A for the composition persons, GSTR 4A is there, but they cannot avail input tax credit, that is offshore as per the CGST Act 2017, Section 10. Composition taxable persons, they cannot avail input tax credit, but the auto-populated details of the purchases will come automatically in form GSTR 4A from GSTR 1, GSTR 5 and GSTR 7. These auto-drafted details will be there in the common portal. Next one is form GSTR 5. It is related with the return for non-resident taxable person. Non-resident taxable persons who are making taxable supplies to India. So they have to file a return after the expiry of their GST registration. Normally their GST registration is valid for 3 months, extendable up to another 3 months or 90 days. So whatever the case may be, when they are winding up their business, they have to file a GST return in form GSTR 5. Then GSTR 5A is the next return. It is details of supplies of online information and database access or retrieval services by a person located outside India to an unregistered person in India. A person located outside India to an unregistered person in India. Database retrieval services. So those persons, they have to file a return in form GSTR 5A. That is the form number. Next one is GSTR 6. Return for input service distributor. The return to be filed by an input service distributor is form GSTR 6. Input service distributor means there will be a head office and a number of branches. The service will be availed by the head office, and the head office has to proportionately distribute the input tax credit availed to its branches, because the branches are availing the facility or the services. The head office itself cannot take the complete input. It has to distribute the same. For that purpose, they have to take a separate registration as an input service distributor under GST law. Then only they can issue an ISD invoice. According to the ISD invoice, when the head office is uploading the ISD invoices, it will be credited automatically to the dashboards of, or it will be shown in the dashboards of the branches automatically as a part of their GSTR 2A. So the input service distributors, they have to file a return in form GSTR 6. Then 6A is there. The details of outward supplies made available to the ISD recipient on the basis of form GSTR 1. GSTR 6A is the auto-populated details of the ISD invoices being reflected in the dashboard of the branches or the recipients of the ISD invoices. They are called ISD recipients, or the branches we could say. For easy understanding, we can say the branches. So the form is GSTR 6A. Then comes GSTR 7. It is written for tax deducted at source persons. Return to be filed by the tax deducted at source persons. Tax deducted at source compliant persons. They have to file a return in form GSTR 7. Next one is form GSTR 7A. TDS certificate. When the TDS return is filed, the TDS certificate will be automatically generated in the dashboard of the supplier of services. So that certificate is called TDS certificate, and the form number is GSTR 7A. Next one is statement of tax collected at source. Statement of tax collected at source, that is GSTR 8. Statement of tax collected at source, that is the return to be filed by the tax collected at source compliant persons. And then comes the annual return, GSTR 9, annual return. Annual return is a consolidated statement of the returns filed monthly or quarterly. For regular taxpayers, GSTR 9 is the annual return form and it is to be filed on or before 31st December of the succeeding financial year. On or before 31st of the succeeding financial year, that is the due date for filing the annual return. From 2017 and 18, from 2017-18 annual return has been extended up to February 2020. So it has been filed late. Actually, a lot of extension dates were provided. And as of now, 2018-19 is due and the due date is 31st October 2020. So people are not aware about this annual return, or they were confused about this annual return. So the dates were extended from time to time. And now the 2018-19 annual return is due on or before 31st of October 2020 for your information. This is the latest information, and currently the annual return for 18-19 is due. The next form is 9A. It is for the composition taxable persons for filing the annual return. The composition taxable person is the consolidation of their quarterly GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B statements which have been filed earlier in the previous year. It's a consolidation of the statements filed by the composition taxpayers, that is GSTR 9A. You can edit it. GSTR 9 also you can edit. GSTR 9A also you can edit. But before editing, you have to cross check each and everything. All the data is intact. If you are missing something, some tax liability has not been declared, you can declare that and pay it to the government. But you cannot avail ITC later on after filing the annual return. ITC, if you didn't avail earlier, you won't get it again. If you didn't get it, or you didn't avail it, you didn't claim it, it is gone. You are not supposed to claim that later after filing the annual return. But if there is any tax liability, you can declare that particular liability in your annual return and make the payment. So no refunds are available after filing the annual return as of now. But if there is any tax liability, you have to pay that. Or you have availed more input tax credit, you have to repay it back. If the tax authorities are serving a notice mentioning that you have availed more input tax credit or more than the eligible input tax credit, definitely you have to pay it back as per the annual return. So another form is 9C. It's a reconciliation statement to be filed by the regular taxpayers. That means if their aggregate turnover exceeds rupees 2 crores per annum, they have to certify their reconciliation statement. They have to submit a reconciliation statement duly certified by the chartered accountant or cost accountant, a practicing chartered accountant or cost accountant. They have to certify it and then only they can submit it to the GST department. So 9C means the reconciliation statement for the regular taxpayers to be attested or certified by the practicing chartered accountant or cost accountant. They have to submit it along with the GSTR 9 form. So that is the reconciliation statement for the annual return for the taxpayers whose aggregate turnover exceeding rupees 2 crores per annum. The next one is final return. Final return is being filed by the people or the persons who have cancelled their registration. Final return is being filed by the persons who have cancelled their registration. So GSTR 10 is aimed at the people or the persons who have cancelled their registration. So in that final return, if there is any liability, they have to declare that and pay it to the government. If they are not declaring it and not paying it, their cancellation will be void and it is not cancelled. So they have to continue filing returns every month. So you have to make sure that if you are cancelling your registration, you have to make sure that you are filing the final return within the stipulated time frame and make sure by logging in. If you have to log in to the portal and if your login ID and password is invalid, showing invalid, that means your registration has been cancelled. Otherwise, if you are able to log in, means your registration is not cancelled. You have to pay the tax again and again. Even it's a nil return without tax, you have to file it again and again every month. So it's the responsibility of a taxpayer who has cancelled his registration to file the final return in form GSTR 10. And The last one is Form GSTR 11. It is a statement of inward supplies to be filed by persons having unique identity number. Statement of inward supplies to be filed by people having unique identity number. UN agencies, consulate or embassies, they have to file this return to claim refund of tax on their purchases. So these are the forms related with GST. There are monthly returns, quarterly returns and annual returns. There are auto-populated returns too. So we can categorize it as normal returns, monthly returns for regular taxpayers, auto-populated return like 2A and 4A, then annual return for composition dealers, regular taxpayers, then returns for special persons like ISDs, returns for special persons like non-resident taxable persons. These are special cases, and persons who are collecting tax at source and persons who are deducting tax at source, collecting and deducting. Both cases, different returns are to be filed. Those are special persons. These are the returns related with GST, and I think this explanation will be enough, and I hope you people understood.